TV shows often they come and go. They come, they do their time, and they eventually end. Futurama was one of those shows. It came, it had its time, it ended quite majestically, but it did leave us with some kind of great episodes. And if you look around on YouTube, you can probably find lists from people of kind of top 10 episodes, the best ones of Futurama. But today I'm just going to give you a kind of short list of some episodes that I don't feel are the best, but are definitely ones that I found myself enjoying. So without further ado, I'll just skip straight into the list and a short description of each. Right, A Flight to Remember. Futurama does Titanic. I mean, how can you go wrong with a concept like that? Titanic in space, with Bender meeting a funbot, and them enjoying a Jack and Rose kind of relationship, before, since Zach Brannigan was piloting the ship through an asteroid belt, it causes everything to go wrong, similar to the original events. When aliens attack, aliens from Omicron Persei 8 invade planet Earth requesting McNeil. They think at first it's President McNeil, but eventually discover they just want to see the ending from a television show that got cut off during the 20th century. How Hermes requisitioned his groove back. Yeah, an episode kind of showing the kind of intricacies and honestly quite confusing world of bureaucracy, as Bender gets his memories or his personality wiped by a replacement bureaucrat, and they have to go to the central bureaucracy in an attempt to get it back. It's quite a fun story. The Honking. Bender becomes a werecar. It's weird, but it works. While in a Transylvania-style town, while staying at a castle there, owned by his late uncle, Bender gets attacked by a werecar and subsequently begins turning into one each night. I mean, it's weird, but it's highly creative. Insane in the Mainframe. Bender and Fry, after being involved with an evil robot named Roberto, they get sent to the Robot Asylum, which, of course, Fry doesn't like one bit, seeing as he isn't a robot. However, he eventually comes out thinking he's a robot, which once again ends up for some kind of interesting antics around the office. The Root of All Evil. This one might just be a personal favourite for me, but I find it's pretty good. Cubert and Dwight end up being suspended from boarding school, and at the kind of pushing of their fathers, Dr. Farnsworth and Hermes, are ordered to get a job. They subsequently start up a rival company to Planet Express and eventually end up taking over. Yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a weak plot, but then there's also a pretty fun side plot with Fry, Bender and Leela making bootleg beer inside Bender and treating it like a pregnancy. I mean, that's just fun. The Sting. Fry seemingly gets stung by space bees and ends up dying, and Leela becomes consumed with grief seeing him everywhere. And it's a pretty kind of sweet ending that they put into it. I'm not going to ruin it here, but I think it's pretty sweet. The Farnsworth Paradox. Professor Farnsworth creates a box containing a parallel universe, containing alternate versions of each of them. They're apparently different because the coin flips have opposite outcomes, meaning you get Fry with black hair and a green jacket, Leader with orange hair, and a golden Bender. I mean, it's quite creative, like, the differences that there are, and it's quite fun to see them interact with each other. That's pretty funny to see. Proposition Infinity. I mean, yeah, political episodes can be rather hit and miss, but I personally think this one's rather fun. It shows Amy and Bender kind of working to establish a new kind of political agenda that would allow them to marry each other. I mean, the episode doesn't really go anywhere because, spoiler alert, they do end up breaking up towards the end of the episode. Well, Bender dumps Amy, but I think it's a pretty good episode, and for all the kind of episodes of TV shows that have kind of like a political agenda, this one I think was done rather well. The Tip of the Zoidberg. The kind of this one gives the kind of background of Professor Farnsworth and Zoidberg, and kind of shows why he kept Zoidberg around, even though everyone else seems to despise him. But I think it's a good one. I mean, the the only kind of niggle I have with this episode is that towards the end they start building a Rube Goldberg style machine to try and kill the professor, which I think is creative, but then they use it to chop salad. I just think you've put cyanide on the blades. You can't eat that salad now. I mean, anyway, from there we've got Ghost in the Machines. Bender ends up, well, he really ends up getting murdered by the suicide booth, and then spends his time trying to scare Fry to death. Which, yeah. And they also show the Amish homeworld, which, you can take that as offensive or not, but I think it's pretty creative. The Bots and the Bees. Bender gets a vending machine pregnant. Honestly, that's wildly creative and just really fun to watch. It's like, oh no, no way am I that kid's dad. Wipe my shiny metal ass. Oh crap. But you know what? It's fun to see, and they do come up with some inventive ideas. The $6 million Mon. Kind of like with the Cybermen in Doctor Who, this one follows a similar kind of idea, with Hermes replacing every single part on himself after he and his wife are mugged by the evil robot Roberto. And, yeah, I mean, it's not the strongest story, but it's still pretty entertaining to see, with, yeah, Roberto eventually taking over Hermes' metal body, but then kind of getting killed by that his skin is too spicy from his wife's curried goat. Yeah, kind of fun to see. Fun on a bun. This one is just a personal favourite of mine. Leela ends up thinking that she ate a sausage made of Fry, and Fry ends up discovering a whole kind of civilization of Neanderthals living beneath an ice cluster. They both end up getting amnesia and forgetting each other, and then eventually have to kind of battle against each other, which is kind of rather fun and does end on a kind of sweet ending of the two remembering each other, which is rather nice to see. Excuse me. 31st Century Fox. I mean, fox hunting, you see it on and off in the news. Sometimes people make it legal, people making it not. But I think this episode, you can take what commentary you want from it, but I think it was fun to watch every now and again. 2D Blacktop, which shows the professor getting interested in street racing, which ends up with him, Bender, Fry, and Leela ending up in a world that only exists of 2 dimensions. It's got some fun moments, especially with the side characters in this one, and it's pretty fun to see. Calculon 2.0. After a suicide, well, technically a suicide, while performing a dramatic monologue the year before, the team managed to resurrect Calculon and kind of showed that I'm not entirely sure what it shows, but it kind of shows how fame can be good and bad. And the last 2 on my list are Assy Come Home, which shows Bender basically having numerous parts of his body go missing, and them having to kind of go off around the universe and find them, eventually finding his ass, bite my shiny metal ass, in a lighthouse, which is kind of fun. And the final episode on my list I would recommend is Leela and the Beanstalk, which is kind of a future kind of parody of Jack and the Beanstalk, which, you know what, it's fun to see, and they do come up with some wildly creative ideas, like what they do with the giant and Mom's kind of genetic tampering, which, yeah, not the strongest episode, but I think it's pretty fun. So there you go. A list of episodes that I don't think are the best from Futurama, but are definitely ones that I think people should check out. I might do another video at some point detailing some of the episodes that I personally think are not good. But, you know what, for as long as Futurama had, they did manage to give us some good episodes. And I've just listed off a couple of them. Yeah. So yeah.